Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. My name is Stephanie Grow. This is my channel. Obviously, I am staying with a friend. Got my dog with me. Okay, that's Morty. That's Priscilla. So, I think last time I was talking about Dr. Suporn, him being the only one that really knows what I'm going through besides myself. I mean, I can feel the effects of it, and he may or may not know the extent of my suffering, but he certainly knows what he injected me with on day 9 post-op. And I believe I can prove that it was day 9 post-op because I had an office visit on that day, and I have photos that show stitches were removed, groin graft stitches were removed on that day, and I didn't remove myself. I went to his office and they removed them. So I had an office visit that occurred that isn't in the medical records. There's no record of it, at least in the records that I got from Dr. Suporn. I requested him in early 2010 and got him somewhere around March through a doctor's office here. So they sent him to a doctor's office here, I won't say which, and that doctor gave me the records. And I did it that way because I wanted to make sure that it went through at least one legit source in the United States, not just directly to me. So that doctor has a copy of those medical records, and so the medical record doesn't have any reference to or record of day 9 post-op. Doesn't have any record of that office visit. So you could say that he didn't see me, but the stitches were removed on that day, and my complications, the photos that I took, the posting that I did online happened around that day when the complications started. The phone calls home, the expensive phone calls home, the hospitalization, all that happened within a few days of that day. Extreme tissue exudation occurred during that day. I was going to say something. I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. I think the damning evidence is the stitches. The photos that I took that have a date stamp and a time stamp on those photos show that groin graft stitches were removed on that day. I believe the date timestamp on the camera may have been West Coast time, even though I was living in Vermont at the time that I flew to Thailand. My camera was still time dated to West Coast because I was still based out of San Diego. I still had a street address in San Diego. So I'm basing my evidence on that timestamp, and that timestamp is going to be 12 hours. Pacific Coast is 12 hours or 15 hours behind Thailand time. And then at some point while I was in Thailand, I may have corrected that timestamp. So you could say that if you wanted to, you could say all the pictures taken in Thailand are plus or minus 12 hours. Because I think I may have corrected the time to Thailand time. So anyways, there's strong evidence that there's undisputable evidence that my groin was embalmed and has been subject to some sort of toxicity, and that it started in Thailand. And I don't have a video showing Dr. Suporn sticking a needle into me, but I think it's not a straightforward story or case to discuss. After 4 years, after changing computers a couple of times, I'd have to go find the hard drives that I have to get all this data together. I've written notes down on how to what my thought process is, how my case is composed, and I'm still ready to do that. I'm even ready to create a website if I can't find a hosting source for my videos. If Vimeo decides not that they don't want to have my video up, then I may have to just do my own website. So not a whole lot to discuss today, but I wanted to continue on this this line of thought or line of reasoning that that Dr. Suporn hurt me in a way that leaves no necrosis or infection, is very hard to diagnose from the standard layman's perspective. It's very easy to misdiagnose if you wanted to if you're a doctor. So it's very hard to get help. And currently, he and I are the only ones that really have a direct relationship with what's going on. He still has the opportunity to come forward to save his name. I would welcome that if he would come forward so that I can get medical help. I don't think he's going to do that because I don't think he's a doctor. If he was a doctor, he wouldn't have hurt me in a way that he did. So I don't think he's a doctor. I think he's a great surgeon. I don't think he should be touching people in a medical way. So I think he can teach other surgeons his skill, and so that they can carry on the magic wand, if you will, the torch for transgender people. And there's certainly some surgeons in Thailand that are trying to do that. I haven't met them personally, but I've heard of some. I think Dr. Preacha taught Dr. Suporn and all the other surgeons, but I don't think I've seen his results. I don't think they're as good as Dr. Suporn's. So I don't know what's going on there. If the teacher's not as good as the student, what's going on is the using the scrotal tissue for donor tissue for the vaginal canal. Is that something that Preacher does, or that's the method that is called the non-inversion technique. So you have penile inversion, and then you have this technique where you get scrotal tissue as donor tissue instead of penile tissue as donor tissue. So I don't know if Preach is doing that, if he's always done that, or if he's doing it at all, if he started doing it. So it would depend on on his skill too. Maybe he can teach if he isn't already. So I don't think just because Dr. Suporn if his license were to be taken away for some reason, if that would be a tremendous blow to the transgender community. I do think that this is an enlightenment on the transgender community on getting surgery in Thailand, and I hope that this story will reach other transgender people that are thinking about getting surgery there. And as for what the risks are, if you wanted to go to Dr. Suporn, I wouldn't be able to advise you on that. I certainly put myself at risk, but nothing that I thought would get me in this situation. So so that's it for today. I put the video up. I'm gonna create some links, put it on my YouTube videos, daily ones, so that you can find it, and you can go to the description for this video and find the link to this in vivo embalmment loss of elasticity. So tissue becomes exposed to formaldehyde, which is a tissue preservative, or diluted formaldehyde. Over time becomes embalmed and dead and fixated and rubbery. And when you pull on that tissue, it's just like a mattress, a mattress that ceiling mattress, whatever it is, where the guy jumps on the bed on one side and the wine glass stays there on the other side. Well, the surface of that bed is stretching to absorb the change in surface area of the mattress. So the guy's jumping up and down, so you have some stretching there. That's elasticity. I believe my video shows that when you pull tissue on one side of the groin, you can see it transferring to the other side. So it's transferring to the other side of the groin, and it's pulling that tissue as well. So my groin is embalmed. I need a doctor that will remove the tissue before I die. I don't think I deserve to die for what Dr. Suporn did to me, or for what Dr. Suporn thinks I did to him. So yeah, that's the perspective of the doctors here in the United States. I may, in their minds, not deserve medical attention because I went overseas and got hurt by somebody overseas. I don't believe that's right. I believe that I am a citizen of the United States. I deserve medical attention here. Would be willing to accept it if they would offer it. Would be able to pay for it if they could save my life, and perform the surgery and get me back to work. So they aren't doing that, and they have their reasons, and I'm not able to even discuss it with them. they won't acknowledge a problem. I can't find anyone to go with me to the hospital to be a witness that they see this loss of elasticity, and they see the other symptoms down there: tissue deterioration, loss of temperature, and loss of blood flow, lack of blood flow. So they aren't wanting to help, and they're getting away with it. And no one in my family, my friends yet, um, no one that I know of has offered to stick with me in a hospital, to demand that that tests be run to rule it out. Just as much as you can diagnose something, you can rule it out. So that from that perspective, they may wish that I die, because if they don't help me, I could die. Especially if any of my suspicions might be true. So there's that perspective, and then there's the perspective of Dr. Suporn not coming forward to end this. So he started this, and I believe he knew how it was going to continue day to day, that it would get worse, and that I would react in some volatile way at some point, which I haven't. I've been just continuing on trying to get help. So I'm going to end it right there, and got the video up, and have some neighbors in the backyard right now doing their thing. So take care. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.